Hey. This speech might be kind of heavy and personal, so I apologize in advance. But if there's one thing I've learned this year, it's that I feel better when I'm being honest. So I won't lie in this speech. In fact, I'm done lying about myself. I've been done since last year, after what was probably the worst couple of months in my entire life. I'll be entirely honest with you guys. High school was not the greatest experience for me. I'm not trying to scare any of you guys for the future. I can't really tell you what the future will hold for you because you're all different and these experiences were mine and mine alone. But I'll tell you this, my freshman year was the worst year of my life until I went into my sophomore year and had the worst year of my life again. But it was in my junior year where I hit rock bottom. However, I would have never been able to predict the reasons as to why I hit rock bottom. Before that year, all my stress and problems were school-based. I've always had a skewed sense of self-worth, and I believed that if my grades weren't effortlessly good, my existence was absolutely worthless. Nobody ever literally told me this as a kid to think that way, but I've always been sensitive to wording. I really do need to be explicitly told that I won't die if I don't do something I'm supposed to do. In my junior year, I worked with teachers and parents to devise a schedule that would most benefit my mental health, which had been deteriorating the past few years. I needed to take it easy that year, and I'm sure glad I did. I almost slipped away that year. I was really on the edge of doing something I wouldn't have been able to reverse. I don't mean to sound pretentious or edgy when I say this, but it wouldn't be a lie to say I'm not like the majority of my classmates. I have a feeling people know I'm different. I may even be different in many unlikable ways. I'm not unaware that the way I dress is always so simple. I know I wear sweatpants a lot. I know I wear a lot of black. I know I don't shave my legs. I know I'm not girly and I don't talk about boys. I'm rude and blunt at times. I probably cry way too easily over simple things. I have a tendency to always say the wrong thing sometimes. Funny how I couldn't even control this. I dress in baggy clothes because tight clothes are painful to me. When I shave my legs, they feel numb. I'm a lot more sensitive than people might think, physically at least. I don't talk about boys because I like girls. I've always tried to convince myself I didn't. I never cry on purpose, it just happens. I have very little natural social skills and I'm still trying to adapt. Half the time, I never even mean to say rude things. They just come right out. I never really doubted that I acted differently from most people. In fact, I'm probably more aware than anyone else. I've been aware of it my whole life, after all. My junior year was so horrible, not because of school, but because I was so painfully aware that I was different. I was suddenly bombarded by intrusive thoughts that would constantly remind me of what an embarrassment I was, how I was a burden to everyone I spoke to. Every day and night they wouldn't let up, and for once I stopped caring about school. In those moments I believed in my heart I was as good as dead. I didn't think I would last much longer. I was becoming violent towards others and myself. I started to think that I must have been a bad person. I didn't cry about it, I just felt empty. Some days I didn't even feel like I was in my own body. There was so much going on in my head. I was sick, and I couldn't describe to you everything I felt. In all honesty, I'm sugarcoating this story. It got worse. It got much worse. In the end, I thought that in order to make the world a better place, I should remove myself from it. But I didn't. I asked for help. I decided to care about myself a little bit. Eventually, I was put on medication that cleared my head. That was when I realized something. I went through all this suffering because I didn't want to burden others with myself. I wondered why. Why should I have to suffer both physically and mentally to make myself more appealing to others? Even during those awful months, I was never successful in changing myself. I just talked less. I'm going to be honest. I've heard people talk about how it's okay to be weird, but to me, being weird isn't about being a little quirky or dressing up randomly. It means being an outcast. But I don't want to have to suffer for it. I'm a good liar, after all. I can even convince myself, but I won't lie anymore. I can't. If I do, I'll lose myself again. I can't go through that again, so I'll be honest with myself, even if it's scary. That's just who I am. I don't don't come without my flaws after all, so you're going to have to take all of me. I'm gay, I'm mentally ill, I'm autistic. My flaws are my identity. They're my favorite part of me. Without them, how can I really be myself? And that's the speech.
Yeah.